Hello everyone, this is James Shore with another test-driven JavaScript video. I'm recording this on December 30th, 2012, picking up right where we finished off in the last episode. And what we're working on right here is we are getting the ability to drag our mouse and draw on our WeWikiPaint page. Now, right now it just supports clicking, which is what I'm doing. Click, click, click. And we are in the middle of trying to get it to work with drag and drop so we can drag the mouse. So we've gotten a little bit of code to do the drag, and there's some duplication there, and we need to fix that up. And then we're going to clean. We're going to need to finish cleaning up our test. So test all cases. So something along those lines. This is an old to-do that's not really applicable to the basic drag. So that's what we're working on. Here's our test code. We have mouse down, mouse move, and mouse up to simulate a drag. And here, now we need to get it to actually work. We can see that our test is failing. It's saying expected nothing to equal our line segment. So I think we can just have this work by saying we can just follow the mouse move event, I think. That will work. It won't be sufficient, but it will be sufficient to make this test pass. Let's go ahead and check that out. No, it's not. Let's see what happens. Okay. Well, it is actually working for real. So the fact that it's not working in our test means that our test is probably wrong. So let's go ahead and take out this mouse down and this mouse up and just leave in the mouse move. Okay, I am probably doing the mouse move event wrong. Let's see. It gives us a page X and a page Y in the event. And over here, in our mouse move event, we're doing a page X and a page Y. The mouse move may be the wrong event. So let me just, so I'm doing something wrong here. It's almost certainly in the test code. I'm going to take a moment to just investigate this a bit further. Back in a moment. Okay, I'm back. So I did confirm that this looks like it's the right code. I mean, I looked at some other mouse event code test code I've written in the past, and it's the same code. So the question is why isn't it working? And let's first just see if the mouse move event is triggering at all. So I'm going to do a dump and say inside mouse move event, okay, that is triggering. All right. Okay, I know what the problem is. It's triggering, but it's only triggering once. So in order for this to really work the way it's supposed to, we need to do two mouse moves events. First, mouse move to 2030, and then second, mouse move to 5060. Yes. Okay. So that kind of worked. I don't know why it's saying 20, 30, 50, 60 as a string, especially since it didn't do that for the click event. Well, of course I can't go back to that because I'm no longer capturing the click event. So that's a little strange. But other than that, it seems to be working. So let's go ahead and see what's going on here with this string code. It's now coming out let's see. So we've only got one line segment here. So let's code that to begin with. Okay, there we go. That's working. So we can check this in. We have now draws lines in response to mouse movement. Of course, that's not good enough. We need it to draw line segments in response to drags. So we need it to actually let's make a new test which says it does not draw I want to say it doesn't draw a line segment when we don't have the mouse down, but let's actually do that as a new test. Well, yeah, let's do it here. So it does not draw line segment when mouse is not down. So we'll expect this to equal nothing. Of course, it does equal something. So now what we need to do is come over here and put in this code that says is dragging. So now if the mouse is down anywhere in the document, then is dragging is true. And we can do that. And I'm hoping that will work. It did. It's saying expected nothing to equal nothing. My test is wrong. I should have said, rather than expecting an empty line segment, I should have expected 0 line segments. So let's try that. Okay, that's good. Now we also need to test the case that it stops drawing line segments when the mouse pointer is up. So that's to do. And it also needs to, yeah, well, let's do that to start with. So let's grab this. And before I forget, we need to eliminate all the duplication in that mouse event test code. We're constantly saying this over and over and over again, and we want to get rid of that. But before we do, let's say mouse down at 2030, mouse move to 2030, then mouse move to 5060, and then we'll expect the result to be 2030, 5060. Now what we need to do is we shouldn't need this first move event. The down event should be enough. But we'll come back to that. This sort of low-level interface code always has a bazillion little test cases. So this should work, I believe. But then we should say mouse up at 50-60, and then mouse move to, let's say, 10-15, and that should not show up, but it's going to, because we haven't written the code to stop following the mouse once the mouse button is up. So there we go, that's good. Now what we're going to do is have a new one here that says mouse up is dragging equals false. And now that should pass. Okay. And I believe that's really gotten the basics of what we want to do here. Now I can draw lines. And that's awesome. So let's go ahead and start doing some cleanup here. So I guess I'll go ahead and check this in. What we've done here is basic line drawing in response to drag is in place. There's some issues in that, and these are really, really minor issues that you probably would ignore if you weren't doing test-driven development, but there's some issues like when you press the mouse down, it doesn't record the line segment. So let's go ahead and fix that sort of stuff. First off, I want to say, just make this documentation a little more clear. It draws a line in response to mouse drag. That will just be sort of the basic case. And then we're going to go into sufficient or more detail on each of these cases afterwards. So I'm going to say it, just going to do the basic draws a line. And then we'll expect that to equal 20, 30, 50, 60. Which it does. And in fact, we don't even need the mouse up. We can just do that. Yeah, so that's good. And then next what I want to do is get rid of this mouse move. So even this should not be required. But there it's failing. So what I'm going to do is when the mouse goes down, we're going to record start X. And start Y. Now I think that will fail because we're not recording the page offset, doing the page offset stuff correctly. So let's see what happens when I run that. Yeah, that failed. So what we need to do is pull this in. And then eliminate that offset calculation at some point. Oh, I expected that to work. Okay, expected 20, 30, 20, 30, 20, 30, 50, 60. Oh, that's just because we have this extra movement here, I think. There, that works. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and check this in. What we have here is that the code correctly saves off start position even if there's no movement. Let's say when mouse button goes down. Okay, So that's all the time we have for this episode. We're going to just keep on plugging away at these details in the next episode. We've gotten the basic drag to work. We still need to factor out our duplication of the mouse event test code. And we also need to take care of special cases in our mouse event handling. So we'll look at that next time. Thanks for watching, everybody. I will catch you next time.